If Gareth Southgate had a leaky tap in his house causing a massive flood to go down his stairs, he would stand at the bottom of the stairs looking at the flood going, "Oh, this brooch on my tit is bloody lovely. Let's try and solve the issue by closing the bathroom door and putting the draft excluder right in front of it." He should call a plumber. Everybody else in the world would call that plumber, wouldn't they? But would Gareth Southgate do it? No, he would not. He's got his tried and tested players. He's got his tried and tested, in his mind at least, ways of playing, his methods, and he will not deviate from those tried and tested, in his mind, ways. And it was clear for all to see last night what the issue was as England drew 0-0 with the USA. But did Gareth Southgate go and do it? Did he go and rectify it? No, he did not. I'm Ross Tweddell from Hold and Give, and it's very appropriate that I've got Mickey Mouse over my shoulder there, because when I look at Mickey Mouse there, all I think is Gareth Southgate last night. Now, I've got to say, England 0, USA 0 is not the worst result in the world, given what we did to Iran, the 20th best team in the world, I should say. We twatted the 20th best team in the world, and also with what we should do to the Welsh. The Welsh got their arse handed to them themselves just yesterday. We should beat them with aplomb and with ease. So it's not all doom and gloom over here at the moment, but the big worry is when we get into the latter rounds against the likes of France, and Gareth Southgate is given a game like last night was, a game where what he was trying to do just wasn't working, and we have a clear solution for the issues that was happening on a football pitch, and Gareth Southgate just did not use him for whatever reasons. He doesn't react to problems that are in front of him, and I think that's what will cost us in the latter rounds of the World Cup. It is clear for all to see what the biggest issue was with last night's game, and that was England trying to break down, or trying to get the better of a very resolute USA backline and a very energetic, I should say, USA midfield. And the clear answer was Phil Foden. Phil Foden, what he brings to a football pitch is getting into those pockets of space. He gets into those pockets of space and he finds that final ball. I'm not sat here with his career stats in front of me, but it feels like at least he gets more and more goals as the season goes on. So who knows if that one chance that we could have got, if he was on the pitch last night, he maybe would have taken it. But instead, we brought on Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford's coming into form. Marcus Rashford being on that football pitch normally is not a thing I would have an issue with. But it was clear that Marcus Rashford needs space in behind. And what's the one thing he didn't have last night? It was space in behind. So Marcus Rashford was just nullified into nothing because he didn't have that space to penetrate and to utilise what is his biggest strength, in my opinion, his speed. And then we get on to Jackie Grealish, because he brought him on last night because he thought this was still Euro 2020 when everyone was gagging for Jack Grealish to come on because we thought Jack Grealish was the saviour. It might just be me, but I think Jack Grealish has dropped off massively over the pot. Well, since he basically joined Manchester City, because it feels like he's scared to do what got him that move to Manchester City. Gareth Southgate brought him on last night. He said this in his post-match press conferences because he wanted Jack Grealish to retain the ball, to carry the ball up the pitch and to win England free kicks. And he did that. But the issue with that is there, Gareth, is that when we had a free kick last night, or a corner, any set piece, we didn't have a clue what to do with it. Yes, we aimed for big old Slabhead, who, by the way, was man of the match for me last night, but more on him later on. We didn't have a clue what to do with those set pieces. So having Jack Grealish on there, for the period of time we had him on there for, it just didn't work in the way that Gareth wanted it to work. And when it wasn't working, why didn't he react and think, oh, I've got Phil Foden on the bench. Phil Foden, who brings everything I said earlier to a football game. He's the thing we need to rectify this game of football and sneak a 1-0 win and make the final game against Wales completely pressure-free. But did he do that? No, he did not. And then we think about the right back. Now, I've got to tell you, as a Newcastle fan, I was worried when Kieran Trippier came to the club in January, because I was thinking, here's an aging footballer, he's just going to take the money that the Saudis are going to give him, he's going to ride off into the sunset and just not give a bollocks about what goes on the football pitch. But I couldn't be any more wrong. For Newcastle United, Kieran Trippier runs games of football from right back, and I can't convey what that looks like unless you've actually watched him like live in the stadium. He's the one that directs everything for Newcastle United. I couldn't be happier with him, what he's done for Newcastle United. But let's call a spade, and last night Kieran Trippier was a very useless spade. He was a spade with a massive hole right in the middle of it because he wasn't having a good game at all. Defensively, it felt like every single US attack was coming down his side and he wasn't dealing with it. When Kieran Trippier had the football, he was trying to build things from the back. He was going for these big passes, even short ones as well. Nothing Kieran Trippier was trying last night came off. So you're thinking to yourself, I've got this right back who isn't playing very well. I've got 5 substitutes to use in this World Cup of 2022. One of the substitutes I have to use, surely, in this situation, is getting Trent Alexander-Arnold on that football pitch. As I said earlier, Kieran Trippier was not having a very good game, offensively or defensively. We all know that Trent Alexander-Arnold has these issues defensively. So if Kieran Trippier's not playing very well defensively, what's the harm in getting Trent on there as well? It's not going to be any worse, is it, Gareth? But what would be better is Trent, one of the best passers, one of the best dictators of a football in European football, being on the pitch, launching these attacks, so we can try and break down this resolute American sort of two banks that was in front of the goalkeeper. It made no sense not to bring him on. And then we get to the midfield. One of the big issues last night for England was the midfield, the USA midfield, just having more legs. Not literally, just running around quicker than England's midfield could. So Gareth Southgate, oh my God, Gareth Southgate's resolution for this was to bring on Jordan bloody Henderson, whose legs, as I've heard from several Liverpool fans who I know in my personal life, they all say his legs have gone. So when the problem was the midfield getting overrun, let's bring on the guy who can no longer run as hard as he used to way back in the day. I saw Gareth Southgate say it was all about experience and game management and stuff, but that wasn't the issue. The issue was legs in midfield. They were running rings around us. We were trying to run rings around them, and they were saying, nah, we're just younger, we're just fitter, we're just, well, maybe not in Jude Bellingham's case, but you know what I mean. We're just younger, we're fitter, we can run quicker and faster and all this sort of things better than you can do. And did we try and rectify that? No, we didn't. It was like Gareth Southgate was trying to win the Grand National, but he called on Andy Bastard Carroll. Yes, he looks like a horse, but no, he's not going to win you any race whatsoever. And let me tell you, the worry doesn't stop there for me, everybody, because Gareth Southgate's comments after the game, when he's sitting there going, we didn't think it was a game for Phil Foden in the middle because he doesn't play there for his club. I was sitting there watching England play a couple of months ago. I forget who. I think it may be Italy away. I might be getting that wrong, everybody. And I was watching Bukayo Saka, who plays for Arsenal, up here every single week. AMR Football Manager players, that might call it. Right wing, but right up the pitch. Push really high. Where does Gareth play him in that game? Left wing back, the exact opposite side of the pitch. So I'm asking myself here, Gareth, when does what people do for their clubs matter when it comes for the England national team? And that gets us on to Harry Maguire. If you were taking into account what he did for his club side when, picking your England 11 for a game in a World Cup, Harry Maguire would be sat on that bench picking his massive bastard nose, wouldn't he? He would be nowhere near that pitch. But again, that goes against what you said there, because as I said earlier, Harry Maguire was England's man of the match. He was absolutely fantastic. He won everything. So what I'm saying is, Gareth, you just trying to cover your arse by saying, oh, it's what they do for their clubs. It doesn't matter. You've picked your squad. Look at a situation and react to that situation. And then we've got to say, he was there saying we controlled the game from the back. If controlling the game from the back is your two centre-halves having a game of bastard Pong, Pong was out of date in 1990, Gareth Southgate. Never mind in 2022. There the ball was going between Maguire and Stones, Maguire and Stones, Maguire and Stones. That's not controlling the game from the back. That's just your centre-halves having nothing in front of them. Because again, as I said earlier, their midfield, was overrunning ours. And we had no options because whatever option we had, there was one or two bodies around them. So that's the big issue for me. It's not so much the result. The result is fine. We beat Iran. We should beat Wales. The worrying thing is for me when it comes to Gareth Southgate at the World Cup of 2022 is that he's seeing these really obvious situations in a game and he's not reacting to those situations. Let me know what you thought of last night's game in the comments down below. I have been Ross Tweddell from Hold and Give. Thank you for watching. Give us a subscribe. There's going to be more football content coming soon, and I'll see you very soon indeed.